You are listening to Karaoke Panic Room with Scooter Holiday and John.
But my friends call me Dante.
This is episode 1 of season 2. This is a special season that we're devoting exclusively to SoundCloud. This is Karaoke Panic Room.
This is my brother, Scooter Holiday. My name is John, but my friends call me Dante. We're old school cool. We've both been interested in music since the very beginning. We both started participating in music as soon as we could. We love music. We love the lifestyle. We love the people. We love the art. We've both done studio and live.
John's managed bands. I've been in a lot of bands. We have various experiences to draw from, different degrees of success. And we want to talk about it.
Yeah, we both make some great footnotes in other people's stories. I think we've got some interesting stories, but it's not really about that. Just we've got a little bit of experience. And then also we've both been on the internet since the very beginning of said internet. So we know our way around. But then
So yeah, we're also not young. Just used age just there. But at the same time, we're still a little wet behind the ears in a lot of respects. So in all of this, we are talking about our experiences. We're also talking about the things that we're learning and the mistakes that we make, where we are really just okay with outing ourselves for making mistakes because we learn from them.
we both have a bad case of ADHD, so we're project hoppers. And then inside the projects, things can get just crazy. So we have 15 episodes of information that we have discovered through our bouncing around SoundCloud, picking up information, coming up with ideas, testing ideas, playing with features, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And so we're going to talk about what we do, what we try to do at least. We have developed some guiding principles of Karaoke Panic Room, and we'll talk about those throughout the season. But pretty much our philosophy is you can do anything as long as it follows these guidelines, sort of thing.
We both feel at this point in time that the easiest way to stand out is to be who you are and to stick to a single genre at a time so you don't confuse the potential listener. You don't have to agree with that. That's just how we guide ourselves through it. So doing everything within maybe not a genre, but a classification, something that makes it really easy to give a elevator pitch of the type of music that you make. Oh, person, what kind of music do you make? I make electronic dancing music for Barbies. It's boom, exactly what you do.
I make music for doctors' offices.
There you go. There you go.
So these are guiding principles. They're not hard, fast rules. They apply to everywhere. We're going to be talking about them in the context of SoundCloud, but I think you'll see that these are applicable not only to music in general and posting music, different platforms, but also kind of just living a full and happy life.
On SoundCloud, we recommend that you work towards concrete goals. And each episode, we're going to basically be talking about some features or some methodologies to increase the number of potential listeners that you get, with the knowledge of knowing that in order for somebody to become a fan, they have to listen to you first.
And we try a lot of new things. We do a lot of experiments. And I'm always just trying to make sure that all of those experiments are actually leading towards one of the goals that I've set for myself. And if it's not, then I have to figure out how to do it so that it does.
Foster relationships, specifically on SoundCloud. It's a platform that's like a social media platform. It's more like a Facebook than a jukebox. So because of that, it's very relationship driven. It's very become familiar with people, participate in their lives, and they'll in turn participate in yours.
And if they don't, then, you don't participate in theirs, you move on to the next person. But the more relationships you foster, the more you're going to find people that are like-minded. And if you are out there doing things to build up other people and you find the like-minded people that are building up other people, then they're going to start building you up. And it is just going to have a snowball effect.
We want to be consistent in our methodologies and things that we're doing. We don't have to do the same thing for the entire rest of our lives, but if we make a commitment to do something once a month, it makes sense and we will be rewarded from both the listenership and the algorithms that push the tracks to the listeners.
The bots respond well to consistency.
Another thing that
Uh,
we highly,
oh,
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Oh, I'm moving on to the next bullet point.
That was what I was going to do. You do it. I
All
like your
right.
voice.
Oh, here we go. Be authentic. It's easier to be authentic than to be plastic. And you can put on a performance if that's what you want to do. But if this character becomes who you are, you have to be the character all the time. Think Andrew Dice Clay.
And if you don't know who that is, Google's your friend. Uh, it'll be a humorous experiment for you. And then the last one, and John really encapsulates this concept better than I do, but we use avatar marketing and we want to keep the end listener in mind when we're doing whatever it is we do, which is creating music.
So the avatar marketing concept basically is you have an ideal customer, but this is a listener and you make all your decisions towards that person. If I'm going to be writing a song and I've got a question, what would my avatar like to hear? If I'm putting together something to send out or to entertain or to invite or a product, what would my avatar want in that sort of thing? Make it the way you want. But if you can't make up a decision and you don't want to drag it out for 6 weeks while you try to figure something out, just ask the avatar that you've already created and keep on trucking.
So we're starting this journey. This is episode 1 of season 2. We have some goals for the season, both for ourselves and what we'd like to help our listeners do. And that first goal is to get more traffic.
The whole point in what we're doing here is to increase potential listeners. But that's what we're doing. We're music makers and we're telling information to other music makers. You are back to the avatar thing. You are a music maker. You work in production, you work in your own studio, you go on tour, you do shows, you're something about making music. The topics of our podcast are specifically targeted towards those. And the thing that we're most interested in ultimately is getting more traffic, doing things that will lay a groundwork for future more traffic, things that will help to get more traffic out of old tracks that have already got some traffic out of, etc.
We're going to give a little bit of a brief education on various SoundCloud features, just how we use them, seen other people do that's been successful, just in generally why we like SoundCloud. We obviously like it. We're doing a whole season to talk about it.
With that, we're not going to be doing tutorials on how to do a specific thing on SoundCloud.
No.
That's somebody else's thing. That should actually be SoundCloud's thing. So you should be able to get those from a facts list off of SoundCloud or a YouTube video from somebody doing a tutorial. And that's not what we're doing. We're trying to ultimately put you in a position and explain the way that we put ourselves into a position to get as much traction out of SoundCloud as we deserve by playing by their rules and trying to maximize some things that SoundCloud seems to really like.
Yeah. And a little bit of what we're talking about is going to be our opinions. You may agree with them, you may not. You may find that it doesn't work for you. And a little bit of what we're going to talk about is not going to be opinions. We're just going to be talking about the way things are. We might get a little bit brutally honest at points, talking about setting realistic expectations about how much money you can expect to make on SoundCloud, because that's not necessarily the thing that makes SoundCloud great. It is a thing that you can do on SoundCloud. And so we're going to cover all the bases as best we can.
And as a courtesy, and this is just the way both of us are, when we go off into opinion, we'll try to flag it to let you know. Or it'll be so outlandish, it'll be obvious that it's
And you know what? If you disagree, that's okay. You're probably wrong, but we'll fight with you in the comments about it. We won't fight. We don't want to, unless you want to. You know,
Our
just
opinion,
comment.
yeah, our opinion on something should not change what you're doing, but we'll try to flag that. And hopefully, if your opinion differs than ours on something, we at least give you a little bit to take home and maybe work into your own plans. You don't have to follow everything that we're doing. And we're not telling you everything we're doing. We're just giving you the introductory course, the things that both Scooter and I wish that we had when we started on South. It would have saved
Oh
us the
yeah.
time of watching a whole
Okay.
bunch of videos that are out of date, that the platform has changed. And I know that somebody listening to this sometime in the future, there will be things that we talk about that have changed. We're trying to keep it as uncoupled and loose as possible, but there are some things that are very specific and the way they're working now. And I apologize, but look at our other episodes. I'm sure we'll do updates as things change.
We're also, this season is about SoundCloud. So when we are asking you to comment and get the ideas, we talk about it more in future episodes. We're really asking you, because you're on SoundCloud, to talk with us on SoundCloud, because there's lots of reasons, but specifically, it's just a best way to engage with us directly. And if you're putting comments on the tracks as you're listening to them, we can see where it is that was in the episode that you're putting in the comment. We can respond and we can take in that information and start a conversation. Because just like we were saying, we're fostering relationships with everything that we do. We want a relationship with you.
So,
Send us
please bump it up
a,
in the comments on whatever platform you're on. We're using SoundCloud as the distributor for the podcasts. So we're putting it up on SoundCloud. It's then getting distributed to wherever else you're listening to this. But the place we're going to be monitoring and that we get the most use out of is please comment on SoundCloud. It's something you definitely want us to see.
and then there's the disclaimer. Everything we're talking about, these are strategies. Like we said, they're opinions, they're ideas. Modify what we talk about, adjust, change, personalize, make it work for you, because what's worked for us might apply to you, but might work a little bit differently for what you're doing than what we're doing.
I'm very genre specific. I work in a very tight niche. Um, Maybe there's other people in it. Maybe there's not. It doesn't matter to me. I'm making the music I want to hear. I know that other people are enjoying it because I get feedback. But the numbers that I'm able to get won't match up with what Scooter will be able to get. Um, Maybe he gets more. Maybe he gets less. Maybe you get more. Maybe you get less. But don't get frustrated if something doesn't work the way that it's explained here. Maybe there is a variable that you need to change. Maybe there is a misinterpretation of what we were trying to say in either our side of saying it or on your side of hearing it. So please go back and listen to it maybe one more time before you start cussing us out. So we think we can make it work. And like Scooter was saying, if you go back and comment on SoundCloud, I will defend my honor all day long. Let's go.
And I also love it when people prove me wrong because I learn stuff.
Yeah, we're just here to
So,
learn. And we also
yeah.
need content for future episodes. So brother up.
Well, all right, man. Is there anything else?
I ain't got nothing. I'm
Okay.
chomping at the bit. I can't wait till episode 2.
Join us next time. You've been listening to Karaoke Panic Room with Scooter Holiday, and
But my friends call me Dante.
next episode will be episode 2, Why SoundCloud? We're going to be talking about setting some real expectations that just, you should be using.
Hey, see you
Until
then.
next
Peace.